What is up, guys? It's your boy Phil Shocker, the 96 Hedgehog here with our Week 7 team builder going against Ace the Shiny Flygon in his Virginia Brabas in this Week 7 showdown. We are literally next week and the last week of this. I'm pretty sure we have locked in our place at playoffs at this point. We are sitting second overall in the division. I think there's no possible way we lose playoffs, but if we win or lose, I think we should be guaranteed playoffs still. It just really comes down to how people's Week 7 battles are going to go in that sense of the regard. But I'm pretty sure we're locked in at least the third spot for playoffs in our division. So we should be guaranteed playoffs. But winning this game or next week's game will more likely confirm that. Because it's a tight race for the 2 seeds. Unless I'm pretty sure we're confident enough that no one's going to take it over in that sense of regard. But enough talking about that. Let's get into Ace's team. He's got Incineroar, Gastrodon, Alolan Ninetales, Rakwanig, Gengar, Mew, Noivern, Artisolt, Steelix, and Virizion. This is a very hard team. I had to really kind of predict this team in a lot of ways. Because this team kind of just beats my team. But yeah, this team is really scary. And Incineroar makes so much sense because it checks so much of my team on its own. It really does. Gastrodon is just a bulky annoyance that I have really struggles with against my team. Although on Ninetales, I think Veil makes a lot of sense. Araquanid makes a lot of sense too in case he wants to get Sticky Webs because he's probably Leech Life. Sticky Webs, Liquidation, and the last move could potentially be Mirror Coat, so it's going to be something I definitely have to scout out for in that sense of regard. Gengar is a massive threat too. It can just do a lot of things versus a team, especially if it's Specs. But I feel like it potentially is Scarf this matchup unless he's comfortable not running Specs or Scarf. Mew can possibly come. I don't think Mew does somewhat, but I think it could still. Noivern and Artisolt are the only two I think can potentially be a sub in for Mew, but more leaning towards Noivern, so that way he has some way to remove hazards in case I do bring hazards with my own in this type of matchup. Steelix doesn't make too much sense versus my team. He doesn't really do much and doesn't really win against anything. And then Virizion, I think I just checked Virizion too easily with my team, so I highly doubt he really brings it. Ugh, excuse me. So let's go ahead and break down the team we have right now. By the way, spoiler guys, we may or may not have Orion a forfeit win for week 6, and that's because my opponent is basically lazy and didn't want to do anything with me. If the person who you are watching this, I'm not calling you lazy, I'm just saying you should have been more vocal with me. I'm not trying to sound like a jerk or anything like that, but next time be more vocal with me or else just forfeit the match to me. Or something like that. We're bringing Vikashok, and Vikashok looks like more than likely my lead every single time in this matchup. The only downside of this lead is if he does bring his Incineroar up first. But this lead does a lot of things for us. First of all, agility set, so it's a little risky this week. Actually, do I want to put defog on this set? I'll think about that actually after this recording. But originally, this set is going to be where I can agility up on this Araquanid as he switches that into Incineroar. The goal then is to click Thunderbolt. And if we can get a crit or a paralysis off and a paralysis, anything like that, but we get a crit, another Thunderbolt kills after I take the Opal Berry. Because he could potentially want to click Knockoff or Flare Blitz on me, or Fire Punch, wherever he wants, and then I can click Take It and then knock him out again. But if he's Life Orb, Thunderbolt into another Thunderbolt, then would have to be enough to kill. It only comes down to how his health comes down after that. And depending on my roll I get with my Thunderbolt, I do it lowest at least 40% to him. So he'll be around 50%. So it then would have to probably come down to me, so like roughly at least 50 or less, just a lot less than 50, where I have to basically get another roll to where I can put him in Life Orb range and then kill him off. So that's going to be the thing, because Sticky Webs looks like it's going to be the main problem for us this week. But I think we got a team that can kind of counter that. Up next, we have Psy here with the same set we ran last week. Well, not last week because that was in week 6, but we ran for week 5, which paid off in the end for us, even though it kind of cost us the kills. But we have Psy here with this Policy Magikarp with Cosmic Power, Roost, Air Slash, and Heat Wave. I could have been mono-attacking Air Slash, but the fact that he could potentially have Steelix to bring in this game, and the fact that he could Great art result is a bit of a problem. So I want to make sure that there's no way that that can be a problem. I would have loved to have Kalmai on the set, and if he ends up not bringing the art result, then it ends up being the problem for us there. But it's better to be safe than sorry. I'm bringing max HP, 36 defense, 92 special attack, and 128 in speed def. Now, you're maybe asking yourself, why am I so goddamn specially bulky? You look at his two main special offensive Pokemon that can check this thing. Ninetales, Gengar. These two check it so well. I need to start clicking Cosmic Power, then I need to either click Cosmic Power or Roost, and then I will click buttons versus them. So I can always make sure I can make my hits. And plus, if I can take more than one hit from them after just one boost with my Spadef, then that's really good for my team. And again, Psy is one of these mons I think it can really win us this game in the long run. Up next is Roger, and I've been really happy with Diggersby. Diggersby's been a really good, decent Pokemon for me. And Diggersby is going to be another really good mon this week. Thunder Punch, Earthquake, Agility, Knockoff. The goal is this. We are basically in agility set to where we are going to basically outspeed any, like, I'm pretty sure non-speed invested Incineroar. So we can always one-shot that thing. But here's the set between this thing. Once on agility, I am faster than Choice Scarf Gengar, which means I am faster than every single thing on his team. Now, the reason why, again, I keep iterating that he could be Choice Scarf Gengar is because if he does choose to bring webs versus my team, obviously we're going to spoil it for right now, Dragapult has Clear Body, so I will not get immune by the effects of Sticky Webs. So, the fact that he could still bring Choice Specs Gengar can be a massive problem versus my team. So I need a way to still counter Choice Scarf Gengar. And this is my way to counter Choice Scarf Gengar, is to get that agility up. Basically, the point is to get this in against Gengar and then agility up or something. But Thunder Punch breaks through Arachnid and I think potentially one-shots it or comes pretty much dang close to it. Earthquake, 2 shots, Gastron on switch-ins. Once I get an agility up, I one-shot. Like, there's the thing. Like, I can pretty much one-shot or two-shot every single thing on his team here with this. But if I agility, then I can just start clicking events. A lot of times, I probably will click knockoff just to be safer and get rid of some items. It does explode my item early, but I think it is what we need to do. 64 is just for a little bit of bulk in case we can do that. One of the mons that I think can really win us this game, and it's a long run of it working, but I think this is the set we run. It is Little Mac, who put a little bit of effort in on week 5, but I think this is a game where he's really going to probably not expect me to bring Little Mac for the fact that, 1, there's no reason for me to bring this Pokemon. 2, this Pokemon actually puts in so much work versus his team. Now, I'm a little scared not having Bullet Punch on this set, but I think in the long run, it's going to come in and help me in the end. Power Up Punch, Drain Punch, Throat Chop, and Thunder Punch. Max HP, 136 with an attack of Adamant Nature, 120 Speed Up. What this Pacific IV spread does is that if I can get a Power Up Punch on Mew, if it's defensive Mew, and let's say it's not any defense investment, and he's just max HP invested, with this spread at +1, I guarantee 2-shot, and I always live at least 2 psychics. If he's weakness policy, I can only take 1 psychic. So the goal is to beat Mew. The Mew can be a problem if we don't get around it. But Little Mac can really kind of do that. Up next, we have Chainsaw, the Durant, with Wide Lens, Hustle with First Impression, Ironhead, Exorcism, and Rock Tomb. These 3 moves I just talked about, First Impression, Ironhead, and Exorcism, they just check his team, 100%. Without a boosting item, this literally was doing over 50% and then chipping it with the extra move I needed for the hit. Wide Lens is there so I can land my moves, and Rock Tomb is specifically there so I can lower his speed. That way, if he thinks any potential switch-ins like Incineroar and stuff like that are the way to go, I click Rock Tomb, I can lower his speed and see if I can still get any KO or not. And if I don't, what I do is I just lower that speed, get on out of there into a mon I feel comfortable getting in there with, and then go from there. And last but not least is Jet Fighter with choice specs, modest nature, max special attack, enough speed to outspeed Gengar and the rest of his team with 132 HP with some bulk. With Dragon Pulse, Draco Meteor, Shadow Ball, use your turn to pivot, Shadow Ball for stab, Dragon Pulse for stab, and Draco Meteor just to drop a Draco because of that. But that's going to be the team, guys. Hit or miss on whether we make playoffs or not for this one game, but other than that, we've had a good run. I had a lot of fun, and I'll see you guys in the battle in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching.